Whether they're the Debbie Downers, the critics, or the haters, toxic people can be some of the most detrimental to your productivity and overall well-being. So how do you keep them away when you're trying to get ahead in your life? Well, Leslie Aim is an author of a best-selling book that could help, and she joins us this morning with some tips. Welcome to North Dakota Today, Leslie. How are you?
I'm so great. Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, and it's good to have you on here because this is a topic that so many people can relate to, whether it's work or family. There's always that one person that you feel like just brings down the energy. And so what do we need to know about dealing with them?
Well, the first thing is we have to accept that we cannot be for everyone in this life. You know, we want everyone to like us and accept us, but there are some people who are just not worth our energy. And instead of worrying that the problem is ours, consider for a second that the issue might be theirs and go, "Ooh, I'm really glad to be rid of this person," and don't feel badly about it at all.
No, I think that's pretty good advice. And another thing that you talk about is setting the appropriate boundaries. How can we go about doing that to make life better?
When someone is making you feel uncomfortable or upset, you have the right to put your hands up and say, "Whoa, hang on a second." This is one of the superpowers of being a big grown-up. And when we do that and say, "Hey, this is not working for me," the trick is to not say, "You are doing this," or "You're making me feel a certain kind of way." Instead say, "When this situation happens, I feel like this. Can we work on that?" And then if the other person doesn't want to work on that with you, it kind of tells you everything that you need to know about them. But once you take the the judgment, the accusation out of it, usually you can get to a better discussion around it.
That's definitely, I love you said, let's be the big grown-ups here. I feel like more people could use that phrase in a lot of situations in their life. But let's talk about gaslighting. So first, for people who are at home who don't necessarily know what that means, can you explain what it is and then how it works in these situations or relationships?
Gaslighting is when someone is constantly accusing you of being wrong or bad or so-called crazy, taking your very normal reactions and responses to their toxic behavior and trying to make it your fault or your problem in some way. And I put all of the liars, the cheaters, the bullies there, I put them all into the same category as gaslighters. And very often we get super defensive, like, "No, I didn't," and "No, I'm not," because we're being accused of something that we didn't do. But when these toxic people come at us, we have a secret weapon at our disposal, and that is facts. So instead of trying to argue feelings, don't say that to me, "It's hurtful, it makes me feel badly." Instead say, "That's actually incorrect, and let me tell you why." Especially if these gaslighters are making these accusations in front of other people, because that's a hallmark of toxic humans, is that they try to kind of suck your power away and use it for their own gain. So if you use those facts to say, "This is incorrect, and let me state why," and try and keep emotions out of it, it works way better.
Yeah, we've always heard the phrase, misery loves company. That's what those people try to do. But then going to that, if there is someone in our lives who we don't really enjoy being around, we know that feeling when we say, "Oh, I have to have lunch with them, I have to see them at this family reunion," or whatever, that dread that just kind of sets in, that feeling in your stomach. What should a person do when they start feeling that?
Listen to the voice. The voice is there for a reason. It has built up over time and based on experience. So sometimes we have trouble identifying who the toxic influences are in our life. But if that little dread voice is creeping up when you're anticipating having to be around them, it's an indicator that they have used up all of their goodwill in your life. And let me tell you, it is perfectly okay to ghost toxicity. You don't have to explain. You don't have to apologize. You can just put a big X over them and say, no more, I'm done.
And so I want to get a hold of your book and read it from front to back and then be done with all of these toxic people in life. Where can people go? What's it called? How can they get a hold of it?
The book is called Swagger, Unleash Everything You Are and Become Everything You Want. You can get it at all good booksellers, your Barnes & Nobles, your Amazons, and stuff like that. And you can learn more about me at leslieM.com, LESLIEEHM.com.
All right, Leslie M., thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
You as well.